And I love the story of farmers from the Midwest that during the wintertime, they would set a rope in between their house and the barn, even though they weren't that far apart. But farmers in the middle of a blizzard, they would get lost going between the barn and their house. And some even died in their backyard because they could not find the way home. And so what they learned to do was tie a rope in between the barn and the house so that in the middle of a blizzard, they could hang on to that rope, kind of that straight line that would guide them home. And I think a rule of life in the middle of our own blizzard of life, the chaos that we feel internally or that is happening externally, a rule of life is that guidepost that we can hang on to that can guide us home towards the love of God. That's the image I think of when I think of rule. The other one, and maybe you can speak to this, is of a trellis.
Mm-hmm.
How is a rule of life like a trellis?
Well, for all plantings that are growing upward to heaven, they need the help of a trellis in order to flourish. Otherwise, they become what the biblical text says is like a wandering vine. And a wandering vine is along the ground. It doesn't bear the fruit as it's inclined to or meant to. It's easily stomped on because it's, just wandering, and it's doing its own thing. It's not being formed and shaped. Whereas a trellis, if you provide a trellis or a tree or some sort of side of a building in order for the planting to flourish and to blossom, they need the guidance of that trellis. And that's really what is a good, solid image of what a rule of life is. A rule of life is that trellis.